Hey friends, let's talk about homeschool resources that you are not using. Hey there, if we haven't met yet. Hi, I'm Ashley, nice to meet you. I'm so glad you're here at Joyful Noise Learning. I love to talk about Charlotte Mason inspired homeschool, homeschooling resources on a budget, or just homeschool on a budget, tips for that, as well as biblically based curriculum. So if you haven't joined me yet, welcome. And if you're joining back, hey, I'm glad you're here. It's great to chat with you guys in the comments as always. Today's video is a collaboration actually. My friend Rachel at 7 and All has invited me and my friend Katie at Life in the Mundane to join her to talk about homeschool resources you're not using. I'm excited for this because each of them are gonna have a different take than I will on this. So you're gonna wanna go check out their videos after you watch my video, for sure. If you haven't met Rachel yet, she is an incredible homeschooling mom. She's a second generation homeschooler, just like Katie, and she lives abroad. She lives overseas, not in the US. Oh, she also likes to talk about homeschooling high schoolers as well as preschoolers. She likes to talk about bilingual homeschooling, or maybe it's trilingual. Anyway, they speak a lot of languages and they're working on that with her kids. So go check out Rachel. I'm sure you will enjoy her channel. So my take on this topic today is going to be more resources that will help you do homeschooling on a budget. I want to give you some things that are affordable or super cheap or free even. So who doesn't like free? Who doesn't like to do homeschooling with affordable items, right? So we're gonna do this nice and quick and jump in. The first one is your library resources or anything that has to do with books. A lot of these are gonna have to do with books, but here's how you can get some books for free from the library that you may not be using. Everyone knows you need a library card, right? So you need to get your books at the library that you can get for your curriculum. There's a lot of times curriculum suggests books and you don't have to buy them. You can just go straight to the library and get them. You don't have to go into the library to get some of these books. I use 2 apps on my phone and on my devices here at my house to be able to get library books quickly and for free. So the first app is the Libby app. This one connects to my library. I use my library card number and then I can download books from the library straight to my phone or to any other devices that I have the Libby app on. So this app works just like a library. So these can be ebooks or audiobooks. And guys, I use this for both my kids and myself. I listen to tons of audiobooks on Libby. I've also gotten audiobooks for my kids to listen to on Libby while we're driving around in the car, and we get a lot of listening done that way. The negative thing about Libby is that if books are already checked out and they don't have any copies, you have to place a hold and you have to wait. Sometimes the wait is up to a couple weeks, but other times if it's a book that's more popular and a lot of people are reading it right now, you're going to have to wait up to a few months to get your book. I'm like, okay, at least I put my hold in and maybe people will drop out, maybe people will listen to it quickly, and then I'll get to read eventually. Along with Libby is another app called Hoopla, and Hoopla is very similar. I connect to it with my library card, and then you can download and get things to your device right away. So this one has 0 wait. The only negative with Hoopla is they don't have as much available as Libby does. So Libby app will have things available that are fairly new, although you might have to wait for some of them, but they have a lot more available options. The Hoopla app only has a few things. It has gonna have a lot more unknown or lesser known items or some older things, older books and movies and things like that. Another plus about Hoopla is it does have movies and videos. So that's been really cool to use for my homeschool. We recently got The Pilgrim's Progress was a video that I got off of Hoopla for my kids. The next resource that you're probably not using yet is another book resource. This one is completely free. Have you heard of LibriVox? Maybe you haven't, but maybe you have. If you've heard of it, let me know in the comments and let me know your favorite books from LibriVox. LibriVox is a public domain resource. So there are tons and tons of books and resources on this app, and they have, you can get it on the website or you can get it on your phone. I usually do audiobooks. They do have ebooks for this one as well, but these are going to be public domain items where the public has recorded the audiobooks. So the cool thing about that is you're hearing all different kinds of voices and different kinds of narrators. The negative thing about that is sometimes these narrators recorded this 10 years ago, or they didn't have the best audio equipment. The great thing is people do this and donate their time, so it is free. People have volunteered for this, and so you can always donate to LibriVox if you like. But if you are using the Charlotte Mason method, there are a lot of Charlotte Mason Charlotte Mason suggested and inspired books that you can find on LibriVox for free. So if you don't want to go buy it online or at your bookstore, you can find the ebook copy for free or find an audio version. We've been listening to the Thornton Burgess books on LibriVox, as well as My Father's Dragon and the Beatrix Potter books. And they all have fairly good narrators, and we've enjoyed listening to those books in the car. Another affordable resource that you may not be using is nature study guides. And I love coming across these across the internet, finding things that are free, finding things that are affordable and not too expensive, especially ones that are supporting other homeschool moms. So the one I found recently that I'm so excited to dive into is Simple Studies, and that's all it's called. Simple Studies. She does Charlotte Mason based unit studies that are nature focused. And we love nature. We love, in our house, we love studying animals and insects and nature and all those things. Sometimes I need a little bit of help and a little bit of inspiration for that. So that is exactly what these Simple Studies are. They have great book lists that go along with it, inspiration for your art journaling, and some just lots of great resources for your nature study. So if you want to learn more about Simple Studies, you can check out my link in the description below. You can totally support me by doing that, and I really appreciate you considering that. I have looked at it for my family, and my daughter, I told her to pick one that she wanted to do, and she picked the North American animals because she still loves foxes. And we're definitely going to learn about foxes in there, but lots of other animals too. And it's only $7. So I thought that was a really affordable price to purchase for a nature study guide. The next affordable homeschooling resource you may not be using is book discount sites online. I've just recently discovered this in the past few months, and it is a lot of fun. Think of it as going to a discounted bookstore online instead of going into it, which I'll admit going into a bookstore is a lot more fun. But if you need to do it from the comfort of your own home, you can check out bookoutlet.com or thriftbooks.com. I have links in the description below for those as well. But those have been really fun to dig through and find books that I want to get for my kids for our read alouds or for our individual readers. And you can find them at a really good discounted price on these sites. So go check those out both below, and let me know which books you find when you go searching for thrift books. Okay. And then lastly, the resource you may not be using, but maybe you are already using, but I'm just gonna say it again, and it helps with affordable homeschooling, is book lists. So you wanna always find a book list. You can just search on Google and find book lists. There's so many out there now. You can create your own, but your library will probably have some help with that. I bet they have good book lists for your kids on certain topics. My favorite is Read Aloud Revival. There are always incredible book lists, picture book lists especially too, on their site and the resources they have. I'm realizing I've been using book lists for so long, maybe I should start making my own, but I haven't yet. But if you're interested in me creating any book lists, let me know below and I can help start compiling those possibly for you. Thank you so much for watching today. If you have any questions about anything I've mentioned here, let's talk about it in the comments. If you'd like to hear more about Charlotte Mason homeschooling or nature study, I have a few playlists for that if you'd like to check that out. Also, don't forget to check out Rachel and Katie's video. So you guys are rocking at your homeschooling. I hope you go find his joy among the noise, and I'll see you next time.